In this lesson, we are going to continue looking at the string class. Let's get started. We've got two learning goals for today. The first is that we can create strings using concatenation, and the second is that we can create strings using escape sequences. Concatenating a string is just a fancy way of saying put two strings together. And we do that with the plus operator in Java. And we've kind of seen this before, but here's an example in a print line statement. We start out with the string UO, we add on the variable O, and we add the string for the avocado. And what Java does is it puts all of these together into one string, and we get you owe $17 for the avocado outputted to the screen. Unfortunately, this can sometimes get a little bit tricky because the plus sign is also used to do math in Java. So if you look at the example, we say print line UO plus O1 plus O2, and while we expect it to say you owe $30, it says you owe $1,713. To understand why this happens, we need to consider the order of operations. We have two plus signs, so Java will evaluate from left to right, starting with the string UO plus the variable O1. Now, O1 is a 17, so what we're doing is we're adding together a string plus an int, and Java is going to do concatenation here, and we're going to get the string you owe $17 as a result. But then we're going to add that to the variable O2. And again, we're adding a string, you owe $17, to an int, 13, and Java is once again going to do concatenation. And this is why we get the result, you owe $1,713. Let's consider this same concatenation, but in reverse. There's still two plus signs, and Java is going to start on the left, but this time it's going to be starting by adding the two numbers, 17 plus 13. And since we're adding two numbers, Java is going to do math, and we're going to get a result of 30. That 30 is then going to be added to the string owed, and now we're doing an int plus a string. Concatenation will happen, but that's okay because we've already done the math, and we will get that we owe $30. Let's see what happens if we add some parentheses, which will adjust our order of operations. Normally we'd go left to right, but the parentheses are going to make it so we start on the right side. And we're going to start by adding the two numbers together, which is going to be math and give us a result of 30. Then we'll get to that first plus sign, and we're basically going to be adding the string you owe plus the number 30. This will do concatenation, and the result will be you owe $30. Let's say I wanted to make a string variable that contained the string you see on your screen. Notice that this string contains quotation marks. Now, this is going to potentially confuse Java because quotation marks are already used to define the start and end of a string, and it doesn't know what to do with the extra quotes. So when I go to write the code for this, from Java's perspective, I'm creating one string right here. There's a second string that goes from here to here, and then Java's not really sure what to do with what's in the middle. It doesn't understand that I actually want those quotation marks to be a part of my string. We need a way for Java to understand that we want an actual quotation mark in our string. And Java provides for this with what are called escape sequences. Escape sequences are special characters that can be added to a string, and they all begin with a backslash. There's a whole bunch of escape sequences, including ones to make a new line, ones to do quotation marks, even put a tab in your string. Let's look at some examples. Here's the correct way to store the quote. Notice that the string begins and ends with a quotation mark, which it needs to. That's how Java knows we're working with a string. But then inside, we have these characters, backslash quote and backslash quote. Java is going to treat each one of those as a single character, and it's going to tell Java that we actually want a quotation mark. And if we were to print line this string, the result would be exactly what we want. I'm significant, yelled the speck of dust, complete with quotation marks in the correct spots. Here's another example. So I print line the words hello world, but I include two escape sequences, a backslash n and a backslash t. Backslash n creates a new line, backslash t creates a tab, and so the result is we have hello, but then we go to the next line and we tab in before we print world. Let's wrap things up with a quick understanding check. I've got two print line statements that include concepts we've talked about in this lesson. Pause the video, see if you can figure out what gets printed, and we'll check our answer when you're ready. The first print line is going to start with the parentheses and add 2 plus 3 to get 5. And then we're going to end up printing 2 plus hello plus 5. And because there's that string there, this is all going to be concatenation, and we're going to have 2 hello 5. Then on the next line, we're going to print sincerely avocado, but there is a new line character in there, so sincerely and avocado will be on separate lines. Now that you've watched this lesson, you should be able to create strings using concatenation, and you should also be able to create strings using escape sequences.